Okay. Peter, are you there? Peter. Turn your camera on. Let's see if I can message him. Let's see. Well, let's see. You may be having issues. I've tried 6 times to get on. Same issue as this Tuesday. Oh, okay. Oh dear. Oh, something's happening. Yes. Oh, yes.
For goodness sake, Shush, honestly, I don't know what is going on with Zoom these days.
Yeah.
Have they changed the software or something?
Yeah, they did the software update. So it's like...
Taken me six attempts to get on.
Yeah, so that happened yesterday as well, right?
Yeah, I know, but it's just ridiculous. It just tells me...
What they've done is they've updated to... Tony is in... Tony K. Hey, Tony, from Salisbury in the UK. We've got Kaya Massing from Estonia in Texas. Welcome. We've got Leah Rosa from Copenhagen in Denmark. Welcome. We got Gio Jonka from Cape. We've got Karen Lorette from Reunion Island. Bonjour, mon ami. We got Anna from Potten in Bedfordshire. Anna, right. Pia and Nell from Stockholm in Sweden. Amit Arya, I recognize that name. Oh yeah, it's my brother from down the road in Crawley. How's you going, brother? We've got Gillian McCann from Dublin. We've got Laszlo Prince from Dublin. We've got Denver, another Eva. Wow. Okay. Marie Scully from Galway. David Salmons, who's currently in Italy on lockdown. We got Anna Yagan from Manila in the Philippines. Wow. Awesome. Suzanne from Nairobi. We got Danny and Ari from Paris in France. Ellen from Stockholm, Sweden. Sabrina, Germany. Right, okay, I'm going to rush through these and we get started. Promise. Okay, Uganda's in the house. Caroline. We've got Annette from Kampala as well. Seattle's in the house. Wallace, wait. Okay, Conrad, Dublin. Okay, okay, guys. There's so many. There's too many. Okay, so anyway, we got to get started because obviously Peter, you know, like obviously having Peter on is always a real honor and a privilege. So I mean, I see a lot of new names. So I mean, I'll give a very quick, you know, like synopsis of Peter's career. You know, in very simple terms, Peter Powderham is really, I mean, like, I owe the life I have today because of Peter. You know, he was the person that changed my life. I know that he gets embarrassed when I say that, but it's absolutely 100% true. You know, Peter's been in the network marketing industry for 40 years. He joined when he was 23 years. He was a motorcycle cop for the Met Police in London, in the UK. And, you know, his great friend, well, I'm not sure where to say great friend, but his friend Danny, okay, showed him, well, he must be a great friend because obviously it did change his life, showed him, you know, sat around a pub, a little round table in a pub, you know, in a busy environment with beer, like, swilled all over the table, and like, you know, Peter just had no idea what he was talking about, but he was just blown away by how excited that Danny and Diane, his wife, were, and he was just like, I want some of that. I need some of that. And my God, then when you look at what he's actually accomplished over 40 years, I mean, he's been with 5 different companies that have gone through $1 billion in sales. He's been in corporate with network marketing for 9 years, having been the general manager of New Skin Europe, and you know, worked corporately with some of the biggest companies. He was master distributor of 3 companies. He's made tens of millions of dollars in this industry. Sat on the World Federation, DSA, Direct Selling Association, UK Legal Task Force, I mean, you know, the CV is, you know, appeared on the BBC, you know, talking about MLM on an interview. I mean, you know, the credentials is just ridiculous. And you know, even you know, working as a representative in World Ventures, he has a different type of agreement than normal people because he has a quasi corporate role. So he's very much seen also as an advisor to the company. He's, you know, like virtually every week he will be speaking to Eddie Head and, you know, discussing things, guiding them and helping them, you know, steer through like all the madness. So Peter, nice to have you here, mate.
Well, welcome. Well, thank you, mate. Thank you for that again. Extraordinary introduction. And Shush, you don't owe anything to me. You did the work, mate. You just listened. That's all you did. You just did the work.
I know you don't take any credit for it, mate. But I mean, seriously, you know, you're the one who inspired me. Okay, so let me just start the recording. Can't believe that I missed that. Right. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I mean, like, because people heard your story before and the recording is live. So actually what I just said about Peter is actually recorded live on the Facebook feed anyway. So, but guys, yeah, thank you for reminding me, Arnie. I'm glad you put it in capital letters. You should have done that sooner, but there we go, it's my fault. But you know, wow, crazy times, Peter. But I mean, like, business is absolutely booming, right?
Well, I've just come off the golf course, Shush, literally an hour ago. Grabbed some dinner. I'm still kitted up for golf, and yes, I did win.
Fantastic. Good
but
job.
yeah, the chap I was playing with, I can't tell you his name, but he's very high-profile gentleman. He's in a political government position. He holds an extremely high rank in a local government, and he is an old friend of mine from the police force. I joined the Metropolitan Police with him when we were teenagers, and here we are 30 odd years later, and he and I still keep in touch. And obviously he took one route. He stayed in the police. He became a very high ranking officer, and he's now in politics. And I didn't. I left the police force and I joined funny old network marketing. And we were walking around the course and we were talking about the state of the country. He's talking about the state of politics, the state of local government, the financial problems. And this is obviously a UK issue for those of you that aren't from the UK. This is global anyway. The virus and the problems it's caused for local government control, costing of everything, how many tens of millions of pounds they need to be able to handle what's happened. And he was talking to me about, you know, struggles and the challenges. And I just said to him, you know what? I'm not seeing that. My business just continues to grow. I said, in fact, I've got a conference call tonight. I'm going on a call tonight with, you know, a lot of people from all over the world. And he said, to talk about what? And I said, well, talk about my business. And he said, but what is there to say? He said, everything is, you know, everything's in the toilet. I said, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's a mindset. I said, I, from the beginning, have known that this crisis will create, believe it or not, we will create millionaires. Millionaires can come from this crisis. People will make fortunes in a crisis. They always do. I've talked about it before, you know, the fact that even in war, which is terrible, people make money. And the fact that this crisis is, I'm not suggesting we're making money from the suffering of other people. What I'm saying is we're making money because we haven't stopped and because we look at the ongoing opportunity we have and the fact we have something for people. We have an opportunity, we have hope, and we have a chance for people. If people join us, they have something else to hold on to, and they have a future possibility for themselves, which they haven't got perhaps from their old job or from their current job. And whenever they go back to their job, it may not even be there. So a lot of people don't understand this. And I've said this to several people outside of our industry, and they look at you like you're crazy. They look at you like something's wrong. You're mentally deficient. Why would you even think like that? And I try to explain to them that every time there's a downturn, something positive comes from it. And the fact that one of my favourite sayings, I say on every call at the moment, from every adversity comes an equal or greater opportunity. And from this adversity comes opportunity. Just look at this Zoom. Zoom as a company is $7.5 billion bigger than it was beginning of the crisis. As an organization, they have 300 million new customers as a result of this crisis, paying monthly fees. And then you look at Amazon online, 14% increase in their share price in 3 weeks, because they will grow from other things that don't grow. Now, I'm not suggesting again that we are succeeding because other people are failing. We are succeeding because we didn't stop, because we didn't lay down and go, it's all going down the toilet, everything's over, the world's in a mess. Well, it might be for a while, but humanity has a way of sorting itself out. And we as people, because of our mentality, our thinking, our training, and the congregation of people we have on this call, we don't do that. We have, and something I want to mention this evening as a subject, we don't have that expectation. So, shush, long answer to that part, and I'll come back to what I want to say in a moment, but we are not people who lay down and stop. We just don't have that in our system. I don't have that in me. I don't have that. I never have. Yes, shush, it's quite extraordinary at the moment. But once again this week, company recognised me as the #1 income earner again, week after week, keep breaking that record. I actually didn't plan to be #1 income earner. It's happened because we never stopped. And there's the report that came from the company yesterday. Number 1 to 14 top income earners last week, and that happens every week to me. And I don't actually plan it. I did plan it, of course, 11 years ago when I joined World Ventures to make it work. And in the process of doing it, obviously these things happen. So, shush, I've rambled on a little bit there, but it's interesting when you talk to people in senior positions, in extremely powerful positions, as this gentleman I was with today. He has a control of huge budgets. He has control of people's futures in many respects. But his mindset is, we're in trouble. And we're not, shush, we're not.
No, 100%. And I think that, what you say is bang on the money. And here's the thing, and this is important for, everyone who's watching here, obviously are of similar mindset, positive mindset. And, your see where your focus goes is where the energy flows, right? And I mentioned this yesterday. If you're focused on the bad things, then obviously, the bad things will just expand, and that's what you manifest into your life. If you expand on the positive and the actions that you can be taking and what you can be doing to make things better, then, and this is the reason why we're seeing so many people winning, okay? And if you're not winning, then obviously you got to just change your actions and change your thinking a little bit, okay? Now, the other thing is, I want to just stay on the subject of the fiscal stuff, the financial stuff a little bit. And because, even before this crisis, a lot of the world's, pension systems and all these things were totally broken, right? Okay. And we've been talking about this actually for years. We've been in meetings together where you've actually shared with people that, the future generations are going to be paying for the fact that people are living longer, that, someone's got to take care of them, all that kind of stuff. So, and that you've got to create your own economy. You've got to create that plan B, that residual income. Just talk a little bit about that and the importance of that, Peter.
Yeah, in fact, interestingly enough, I had a personal example of that this week when I have been for a long time talking about the fact that you can't rely on, income from even investment or income from pensions or whatnot. You've got to have something that's solid. Like with network marketing, we have this residual. Mary and I, as a family, we get a residual. We get residual every week. We get residual every month, and we get a weekly, obviously, cycle money, which we max out the plan every month. So every week and every month we max the plan out. So that money keeps on coming, even if we were to shut down completely on what we want to do because we've got such a large, successful business. Now, I was talking again to somebody the other day, and in fact, I could show you this on my phone, but it's probably inappropriate, and I could show you the account. I moved, this is going to sound terribly arrogant, I moved £1.3 million into an account the other day, cash, and the account was interest bearing, which means it's supposed to attract interest. Well, when I moved it into the account, it was the beginning of the crisis, and they were offering 0.85% interest. 0.85% is pathetic, but it was better than nothing. So I put the money in there. About 3 days after I put the money in, they changed the deal and they reduced the interest rate to 0.01%. So yesterday, or day before yesterday, we got last month's interest coming in to that account. So I said to Mary, okay, that 1.3 million we put into, it's actually 1.375 million it was. That 1.375 million we had in that account, we put into that interest bearing account, love. How much interest do you think it earned last month? And she said, I don't know. She said, it can't be much, a couple of hundred. £11.14. Okay. So you put 1.3 million pounds into an investment and it earned £11.14 interest in 1 month. The economic system is broken, and that is terrifying. So if you're hoping to put money away and that's going to look after you, good luck with that, because that's what we do, and it ain't going to look after. I can't live on £11 a month. If I put 1.3 million away, if I put 2.6 million away, I'll get £22. That is beyond stupid, and it doesn't even keep pace with inflation. The Bank of England is talking about the fact that they're going to have a negative interest rate, which means that if you leave your money in the bank, they will charge you to leave it there. Get your head around that, right? So the financial system, as we've all been raving about for the last several generations, is broken. All we can do, guys, is create new money. And the only way you can create new money is through today's business, today's sales, today's activity, okay, which pays you today, which gives you an income today. Not planning for 20 or 30 years' time where you invest it, because it just ain't bloody working. So it's terrifying stuff. I mean, I said to Mary, I'm just going to buy some more cars or houses, because quite honestly, what's the point of leaving the money in the bank? So that's a true story, and I can actually show you that account on my phone. I don't want to, but I promise you it's there. And I know Shush knows.
That's okay, Peter. No, that's absolutely fine. And the thing is, this situation is going to get worse, right? Okay. And just tell people why it's going to get worse.
Why it's going to get worse? Well, I don't want to.
Because it's important. They need a wake-up call.
Yeah, let's just do this bit, and then we'll do what we're going to do about it. It's going to get worse because, for a start, there is, we don't have. Let's just look at England, in the UK. We have currently estimates of about 2.5 to 3 million people unemployed. The Americans have got nearly 40 million people unemployed right now, this minute. We don't, because we have a furlough system. The government's paying their wages, or 80% of the wages. That can't go on. That can't possibly go on. It cost £40 billion last month to do that in 1 month. So you can't keep doing that. It's all borrowed money. So eventually, some of those people, unfortunately, are going to go back to work, and they're going to find there is no work. And they're going to go back to companies. They're going to say, we don't need you now because we don't have the sales, we don't have the business. So we've got to lay you off, and you're going to end up with that 3 million becoming 4 million and 5 million. And my estimates, I don't know, I don't want to be right about this, is that we have 4 or 5 million people unemployed in this country in the next few months. Now, that's not a recipe that's not a recipe for success in terms of the conventional society system that we support. So never before has our industry become more powerful. And I want to cover one quick thing, Shush, which you probably don't know about. But on Radio 4 yesterday in England, BBC Radio 4, there was an article about network marketing. And it was it was in the morning, and it was talking to some people about network marketing, multi-level. And it talked about, like they talk about, is it legal? Should they be doing it? And if you do it. And there were some people on there who were talking about it, and in a positive way. And those just people who are trying to, like they would on a news article, they've got the positive and the negative. That's what they do. They're journalists. But what they said on that program was, network marketing, multi-level marketing, it has shown to be the only industry, direct selling network marketing, the only industry during the coronavirus which has grown in its entirety by as much as 300% globally in the space of 2 months. 300% growth in network marketing direct selling in a space of 8 weeks globally. And they said, why? Why is that? And I thought I'd be interested to see what you're going to say now. They said because it's direct selling, it's from home, people can do it in their homes, and they're discovering, it's not difficult. And they're discovering they can do it from home, which is what we've been talking about for the last several weeks, Shush, and which is why we're growing. Yeah. Because all of a sudden people have found out they can work from home because they've been forced to. So now they're sitting there going, oh, I'll tell people about this. I've got nothing else to do. Oops, someone signed up. Someone else has signed up. My goodness, I've got a business. So by accident, we went down a road of working from home under pressure, and the thing's exploding. And we discovered, and the BBC are covering it as a news article, that we got it right in the first place. And we are showing, as opposed to every other industry out there, direct selling is growing week by week, month by month, faster than any other industry on the planet. So what can I say? That is the future. I mean, I think what people will do is now lock into that and realize that that can continue. And we can continue, because this virus isn't over. We're going to have a very slow coming out of it. It may even have a few peaks in it, whatever it's going to do. But we see a continuous growth if we continue to think like we are now about building a business globally through what we're doing now on this call and through working from home. I mean, it's what we've always talked about. I've been talking about working from home for 40 years. Shush, back to you.
Yeah. And I think that's it's important for you to sort of be armed as well with some weaponry on facts that actually today almost $200 billion worth of goods and services are distributed through direct selling globally in, I think it's more than 200 countries, right? Okay. And there are 1.2 million distributors, representatives involved in network marketing globally, right? You have some of the biggest billionaires in the world, the most well-known billionaires who are associated with network marketing. So Sir Richard Branson, he started a company called Virgin V Cosmetics. So actually, and the story behind that was that he created that as it's like a competitor to Avon and Mary Kay, okay. And he actually started it for his air stewardesses, right? Okay, as a way of supplementing their income. And then he subsequently sold it in 2012. Warren Buffett, net worth, I think today his net worth is around $70 billion. He's a pretty smart guy, considered as one of the most successful investors of all time. He has 3 stakes in 3 network marketing companies, and that's including Pampered Chef. That when he bought that in, I think it was 2003, I believe, he said it was one of the best investments he ever made. Right? Donald Trump, love him or hate him, okay, president of the US. I mean, nobody can deny he is an exceptional businessman, right? He's a billionaire. So he endorsed the ACN video phone back in the day, and also started the Trump Network, which is a nutritional network, right? And then you got Oprah Winfrey actually had Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, on her chat show, on the Oprah show, talking about network marketing, right? And obviously, Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump co-wrote a book, Why We Want You to Be Rich, chapter 27, Why Network Marketing, right? So the thing is, these are icons in the business world. Tony Robbins is a big supporter of network marketing. So these people with massive credibility, mass credibility, wouldn't put their reputations and credibility on the line, okay, by associating themselves with something which is illegal. Are there bad companies? Are there Ponzi schemes? Are there pyramids, where there's no product or service and it's a money game? Yes, there is. And that's obviously where people get confused with our industry. So, I mean, is there anything you want to say on that, Peter?
Not really, no. All I really want to do is cut to the chase on one particular subject I want to cover this evening, Shush, which I haven't even mentioned to you.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you about it. In fact, it's a training that I've done many times. In fact, I don't think you've ever seen me do it, Shush. There's quite a few trainings you've never seen me do. I've got boxes and boxes of manuals I've written over the years, which I probably ought to get out and read again. I wrote them all years ago. Back in the day, I used to do one. I used to when I was first successful in networking, I started training BMW staff, BMW management, Porsche management, Honda management. I did a lot of training for some of the biggest companies in the UK, based on this process in here, this self-belief, self-esteem, self-image, motivation, goal setting, planning to be successful. And one of the subjects I've covered, which is a word that I want you perhaps all to think about right now, which is very pertinent to where we are, but always pertinent to networking and always pertinent to yourself as a person, be it in networking or in life in general. And that's the word expectation, right? And there's 6 parts. That won't take me long. You know, people get what they expect. Full stop, end of story, no further to go, jump off a cliff, right? You will get what you expect in this life. If you are living in a free country, which I hope you are, if you have the freedom to go out and work for yourself, if you're not oppressed by a government or oppressed by a system that doesn't allow you to work for yourself and doesn't allow you to be free, if you're in that situation, we can't help you. But if you're in a country like ours, where you are allowed to express yourself and you're allowed to grow, expectation is paramount to your success. Now, there are 6 parts to this. The first part is that you think to yourself, right, okay, what do you mean by that? Expect what? You think to yourself, okay, do you or don't you expect to be successful? Do you daily say to yourself, I expect to be really successful. I expect to absolutely succeed at what I'm doing. There is no question that's what I'm going to do. I just expect it. Don't tell me it won't happen. It's got to happen because I believe in myself so much. I just expect it. Bear in mind that what I'm talking about here, if you express it to other people outside, they will think you're a bit weird because you will be talking up your life and they don't like that very much. Secondly, you sound a bit strange because most people don't do this. The second thing is that you expect to be wealthy. I always expected to be wealthy since I was very young. Since I was a teenager, I just thought I'm going to be rich. Now I'm going to do it. I've got no clue how it's going to work, but I'm going to be rich. The reason is, why would I not want to be wealthy? Why would I not want to have what other people have got? Just because I was born where I was born and had the start in life that I had, which wasn't particularly fantastic. I've seen other people do it. And furthermore, 80% of the world's millionaires had no formal education and didn't go to university. Get your head around that. 80%, and nothing to do with education, and nothing to do with intellect. It was all to do with drive, guts, determination, courage, persistence, consistent persistence. That's what it had to do with. So wealth, I expected to be wealthy. And people would go, oh, you're a bit strange, you're talking about money. Well, in England, you don't talk about money. In other countries, you do, particularly in America. But in our country, you don't. You sound a little bit, don't talk about money. Well, I don't talk about money. I just talk about being wealthy. There's a big difference between being wealthy and having money. It's very, very different. Okay, and I can't go down that road right now. But the other thing I always expected, and this is to do with obviously building a team and building a business, I expect the word yes. When I go to see someone, I spoke to somebody about this business, I just expected they were going to join me. I didn't wonder, might they, will they, if I say the right thing, if I put it the right way, if I explain it a certain way, if I present it in a certain way, maybe they'll join. I just went into everybody I saw and said, right, let me show you what you're going to be doing. And they go, what do you mean? Well, I'm doing something you need to be doing, watch. And I would literally talk to them in terms of, let me explain to you what you're going to be doing for the next 10 years with me. They go, what would you mean? I said, this is what you're going to be doing. So it's so amazing. You won't want to not do it. Look, watch this, watch this. I just expected yes. And I got a lot of yeses because people would look at you and go, okay, yeah, all right, I get it. A bit like when I joined network marketing, the guy that showed it to me expected me to be excited like he was, which is Shush mentioned earlier. The fourth thing is you expect to grow. Expect to grow as a person, reading books, associating with the right people, listening to audio, watching the right. Expect as a person to grow every day, every day, every day, every day. Grow as a person, read the right books, read the right material. If you read trash and you hang around with bums, you become a trashy bum, right? If you read the right material and you hang around with winners, you become a winner. It's just, it happens to you. I can promise you I know what I'm talking about. I chose to hang around with people who were winners. I chose to grow, to become those people that I admired. I wanted to have their lifestyle. So I thought, why not behave a little bit like, shake hands like they do, greet people like they do, offer my name first, look people in the eye. Okay, be positive. be upbeat, always talk things up. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. Although people who don't understand us will think you're strange. Well, that's okay, because they want to be average. They're striving to be average, and I'll come to that in a minute. The fifth thing is be different, okay? Expect to be different, because the only way you're going to get wealthy is be different. You are going to have to become different to everybody around you. Let's talk about average. People go, oh, you know, it's good to be average. No, it's not. Average, by the way, and I hope you get this one, the definition of average, if you look it up in the dictionary, is cream of the crap. It isn't, but you can look it up. You've got the rubbish and you've got the really good stuff, and in the middle you've got the cream, and it's the top of the rubbish. I'm sorry, but it is. It's the middle bit. It's being mediocre. It's keeping everything the same. It's, I don't want things to change. I want to be like my neighbours. I want to drive like a car like they've got, because if I drove a better car, I would stand out. I would be different. I don't want to be different because people will look at me and people will point at me and people will talk about me. Too bloody right they will, because you're succeeding. Furthermore, if you do really well, they won't talk to you anyway, because they can't handle you anymore. The people you'll be talking to will be us and other friends you have within network marketing. You'll have a whole new raft and a whole new world of friendship and social life around winners and goal setters and people who are excited about their lives, not the people that you work with or the people that you are your family who are sitting around having pity parties because the world's falling apart. Okay? Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do when this is all over. Coronavirus has destroyed my life. No, listen, pal, it happened. And excuse me, and I don't mean to use bad language, shit happens in life and you've got to move on, right? So be different. I challenge you guys to be different, okay? Do not be average. Watch, here's another one for you. Watch what people do that are average and don't do it, right? Watch what average people are doing day by day. Watch where they go, watch who they talk to, watch what they read, and don't do it. Do the opposite, okay? They're ones who watch the garbage on television, like these soaps that are just full of negative rubbish, like EastEnders, which is a thing we have in England, which is quite frankly a disgusting program on the television. That's 30 minutes of negative. They watch that and they think that's life. And they think that their life is a little bit better than that, therefore they're okay. No, sorry, you're very wrong. Do not be average. Please don't be average. It just isn't worth it. You go through life, nobody noticed you were even here. And the last thing I want you to expect is I want you to expect recognition. There's nothing wrong with people saying well done to you. And this is a part of your self-esteem, by the way. If someone congratulates you, you know the answer. If someone says to you, if I say to Shush, Shush, you've done a fantastic job, mate, great job, Shush's answer is going to be, thank you. Not, oh no, actually I didn't, I was just lucky. Things just worked out the way. No, do not apologize for doing well. Don't you dare apologize for doing well. That's what average people do, okay? You want recognition. You deserve recognition. Babies cry for it and grown men die for it. Recognition, right? Babies cry for it and grown men die for it. Recognition. Somebody noticed you exist. Somebody noticed you did something well. You want to see yourself going across the stage when we can go back to events again. You want to see yourself on that list that Shush showed you with your name on that list, the top 14 earners last week. You want to be on that list. You need that recognition because it makes you, it builds you as a person. It makes you feel, you don't wear it like arrogant, egotistical idiots. You just go, you know what? I'm getting somewhere. I have a life. I'm going places. I want people to join me and enjoy this. Okay, have the recognition. So guys, expectation, expect success, expect wealth, expect the word yes, expect to grow, expect to be different, and expect recognition. Shush, over to you.
Wow, bang, that was amazing. I think I have heard you say this before, okay, but I've seen you do this before, but wow, that was amazing, right? So
thank you.
Unbelievable. Yeah, look, the comments are coming in. It's just like, it's going crazy, right? So so here's the thing, right? I mean, like, I think I'm gonna get Peter on every 2 weeks, right? And because you've got all these trainings, mate, right? And then you can cover these different trainings every 2 weeks. How does that sound, right?
I don't know. I might not have enough. Shush.
Oh, well, yeah. Look, they're saying yes, please. So anyway, I'm not tying you down to it, but we will certainly do a few, right? Okay. I mean, the knowledge that Peter has. I mean, I've had the pleasure to go up and down the country over the years, around the world, and you know, when Peter's speaking, I just sat there, like when he's sharing stuff with people, I'm just sat there listening and soaking it in. I mean, it's just unbelievable, right? Okay. I mean, there's stuff that he forgets that is just remarkable. It just comes out when you sat. I mean, the best thing is, like, you know, when we're traveling at events, you know, if you can spend a bit of time with us, sat in a bar, whatever, that's, you know, over a beer. I mean, that's when you get the gold. And
yeah, long as there's beer, buy me beer. I'll talk to you all night.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If you buy Peter a beer, you got to buy me one as well. Okay. So, wow, that was incredible. That was incredible. So listen, guys. So I think that pretty much covers today. I mean, that was like a drop the mic, you know, those 6 points, drop the mic, the 6 things you can expect, right? But I would just continue to say that obviously we've got a crazy schedule happening every week. In these times, and I mean, this is one of the reasons why it's fueling the success that we're seeing. So, you know, obviously we do this call every week. This week we did it at 8 because you know, Peter was playing golf and like he couldn't get back on time for 7 p.m. because it clashes with the Champions League presentation at 8. So basically what we're doing is this: we're doing a coffee break Zoom Monday, Wednesday and Friday, right? Then we're doing the fast start training at 11 a.m. on Saturdays. So on Saturday, there'll be fast start training, which I'll push out. So definitely get on that. And then we have the live presentations happening 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock. That's the Champions League presentations every day as well. So, you know, a huge amount of activity happening, guys. Obviously, I know that people are tuning in from all over the world. So check with your upline leaders, you know, what presentations are happening. Look, here's the thing. It's as simple as this. It's the number of people that you can get to a presentation as a team. So like, obviously, if you don't have a team, it's the number of people you can invite to presentations, follow up, freeway calls, etc. Get people signed up, get them doing the same thing. Obviously, if you have a lot of people doing the same thing, that's where obviously this is where you get the leverage. And I mean, we were talking about this yesterday, right, Peter? That we must have something in the region of about 100 webinar presentations happening every day in our team in the world, every day. This is the reason why, you know, we're getting literally like hundreds of people joining every day, right, in the team. So, guys, that's you know, the key thing is stay close to the fire, bring people to the fire, and you know, that's pretty much it. So again, please put in your comments on Facebook and the chat here as to what you thought about that, and thank Peter. And we will see you, like I will certainly see you same time next week, and I'll see you on the fast start on Saturday. Peter, thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers, pleasure guys. See you again. Thanks a lot, Shush. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. See ya.